All right, I'm live. I hope so. Never know with YouTube. It's so crazy how they don't really show you, but here I am, Dr. Josh Matthews, March 2024 recommendation live stream talking about movies for you to watch that you might enjoy. Movies have become the literary novels of our time amongst the dopamine culture of endless scrolling of 20-second videos that are endless, and you have to sit down and watch a movie for 2 hours. Oh, some cases, 3 hours. Oh, wait, this way. Whichever one it is. Dune 2. There's my movie review of it. I did a very quick one. This is like, I just write over 20 or 30 minutes and throw things out on Substack. I think it's delightful to do. If you want to follow my writing, Substack, it's in the link to the chat. Is anybody here? I can't tell. They're not telling me anything, so I hope you can hear me. Sometimes my mic doesn't work, but it looks like it is on my OBS, so welcome everybody. So Substack, subscribe, Letterboxd is there. Got a lot of people over on Letterboxd. I'm pretty happy with what's going on over there. Just enjoying life in general, watching movies. And my current project, some of you know this, going through the Oscars in the 1980s. I've done all those videos, and they're going to be released over the course of this year. From 1980 to 1989. I'm now in movies released in 1990. And I can definitively say the 1990s are going to be a lot better than the 1980s. Partly because I think there's just a lot more capital thrown at movies at that point, and a lot more, I don't know, artistic visionary interest in movies. For some reason, I can't blame the 80s. It's just the 1990s are better. But the movies from 1990 were made in the 1980s. You know, the scripts are written in that point and so on. So it's not like the 1980s are all bad. But 1990, if you want to just follow along with my letterbox, that's where I'm at. 1990 moving into 91 soon. So anyway, there you go. So today, recommendations. Now, Dune 2, there it is. I kind of liked it. I didn't want to. I did not like the first Dune. It was only the first half or first third of a whole story. So I thought it gave the arc short shrift. And let's be honest, I'm not a big Chalamet fan. That's how you say his name. I noticed a number of other people aren't. He's fine, but maybe a little. I mean, there could be other people in the roles. In fact, no, just to show you something, I did not know this. Where's this at? My Letterboxd, I used Interstellar in a class, and there was a kid in the movie, like early in the movie, and they're in the farm. If you remember the movie, they're in the farm at the table, and it's the young Casey Affleck character. It's the boy version of him, and I'm looking at the actor going, who the heck? I know this guy. Who is that? And it's Chalamet. I had no idea he was in Interstellar. I don't know why. I did not know that, but I had not looked at his filmography closely enough. Anyway, you know, Dune. Well, that's not what I looked at. Dune. There you go. You can see how many people pay for my Substack. Dune is now worth watching. If you're interested in the science fiction epic sweep of Denis Villeneuve, you can now see both movies. And probably it's worth doing as a 2-pack at some point. I have no idea if there's going to be a sequel to this thing. I can't remember the novel very well, and I'm confused whether there's going to be a part 3. It looks like it from the end of part 2, but honestly, I don't know. And I know that Dune novels go forever. After Frank Herbert died, his son took over, so you could make 15,000 of these movies. You have a franchise, budding franchise. I have no idea if Villeneuve will already... Okay, yeah, the chat is saying Dune Messiah is confirmed. There had to be a part 3 at least. So, but now you can do a 2-pack with these movies. So it's not a bad movie. I just don't think everybody watching this channel will like it. I'm very sure about that. There's some great shot making in it. I mean, if you like desert landscapes. Okay, so that's... and if you like big subwoofer booms, there you go. What I want to do today, you know, there's my Letterboxd. I could go through that, but I'm less interested in that than two things. One, giving you recommendations from Criterion Channel. Still my favorite. The only thing I recommend. They do not pay for me. Maybe they never will to say these things. So I just recommend them based on what I like. I have a Max.com subscription too. It's sometimes handy. But all I subscribe to is Criterion and Max. Probably at some point in this year, I'll subscribe to Netflix for a month or two. Those are my recommendations. Criterion, maybe Max. I don't really see anything else that's worth it. You know, go buy physical media. And oh, by the way, I got this in the mail today. This Criterion box. I thought maybe I'll do an unboxing. People like that. Some people don't. Maybe I'll do it though, and that's part of the recommendation game. So since I've got this handy, came in the mail today. They had a 50% off sale. 50% off sale. So I, once again, spending money on that. Recommendations. So Criterion Channel, actually they've got a lot of stuff. What was just added to the channel was really interesting. They have The Master by Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, they're getting a lot of legitimate stuff, less obscure stuff. Also some weirdo stuff like, what is that, the Razzie Awards. They've got a Freddy Got Fingered on there, one of the most trash movies ever. The Roger Ebert review of Freddy Got Fingered. You must read that. Read it out loud to people. It's hilarious. But I can't believe that they have it on there. So, but they have some great stuff. Oh, movie. Yes, movie is getting to be worth a shot. I would agree with the Evan's comment there. 3-month subscription for $1. Yeah, be on the lookout for them. I think they're on the rise, although last time I checked their content, they didn't have as much, obviously, as Criterion. But if you can really focus yourself and go, I'm going to watch Netflix for a month and squeeze the best out of them and then cancel, great. Hulu, same thing. Movie, same thing. But Criterion is the one I have for the whole year. Sexy Beast by Jonathan Glazer. Great haircut. I could play him, couldn't I? Yes, this is actually, if I remember correctly, a really thoughtful, interesting movie. If you like Glazer, definitely go on in. I don't love all this stuff, but I thought this was a very good movie. And some of these I don't know very well. In fact, I've not seen The Devil. Some of you have. So you can let us know what you love. Great viewers of this channel here. I have the Blu-ray for We Own the Night. I have not watched it yet. The Long Goodbye. Great movie. Going to have a video on that in a couple of months, within the next couple of months. I love this movie as a Raymond Chandler adaptation. I'm all for that. It's Robert Altman. And the first time I watched it, I went, I can't believe I did not know that Inside Llewyn Davis from the Coen Brothers is endlessly quoting this movie, including with a cat. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen Llewyn Davis as this cat gimmick, that's how Long Goodbye starts. So I did not know that. But it's a very good... Altman's hit or miss for me. I think this is a pretty good, one of those top 3 Altman movies that you could get into. Some of his stuff is not easy. Nashville is notoriously not easy to watch. I love that movie. I think it's fantastic. But this one, at least it has some plot, some detective stuff, and is a response to a lot of detective fare. Ken Russell's leaving the channel, apparently. Altered States is one heck of a weirdo movie. Yeah. But this one, another one, I'm going to make a video on. I've got the video to make in my hopper. The Killers, Robert Siodmak. I think that's how you say his name. First Burt Lancaster movie. His first starring role is a complicated one. It's really interesting. Ernest Hemingway short story, but the short story is only the first scene of this movie. So this first scene of this movie kind of elaborates wildly on the Hemingway short story. Tarkovsky makes the short story into his own student film, which you can see on the channel here. And then, oh gosh, I'm blanking. Who is the director? Robert Siegel remakes this movie in the 1960s with Lee Marvin. So you can now, and I think all these are leaving the channel. I thought this was a good exercise. You can go watch all these adaptations of The Killers, various versions of The Killers. I like this one a lot. Noir cinematography is beautiful. The storytelling here is really fascinating because there must be 9 to 11 Citizen Kane-like flashbacks in this movie where Burt Lancaster has to play the same character, but the same character in wildly different ways. And it's not going to be quite like Citizen Kane. I don't mean to say it's a Citizen Kane movie. I mean to say it's pretty complicated for a noir with a story structure that has a bunch of flashbacks and maybe the only movie I can think of where an insurance agent is a detective. It's basically a private detective under the employ of an insurance agency. And I don't know if they have those anymore. If such people exist, it sounds like a cool job, but it's very dangerous in the movie. So I recommend that as a noir. Oh man, there's so many movies. A lot of people love The Swimmer. I didn't. but that's Burt Lancaster again in sort of a short story adaptation. It's sort of conceptual. First Mad Max movie. I did a whole, what did I do? Incredible Shrinking Man. Love this movie. I did a video analysis on it. I can't quite remember. I did something different on this, but I can't quite remember what it was. Go check out the channel. I think this is a good introduction to a movie that is more, it's a B science fiction movie. It's more complicated than that. And I do like this movie. It's thoughtfully done, pretty well written. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. I'm going to add that one to my list. Third Man, strong recommend. Yeah. I got to watch Cat People, so that one's on my list. I have seen Paul Schrader's 1980s remake, which I thought was pretty weird. Didn't like it, but this one is recommended by a number of people, so I'll try that one. Oh my gosh. I'm reacting as I go. Have you ever seen the Blair Witch Project? Classic 1990s movie. It was hyped, wildly marketed. Teenagers flocked to it. I remember going to this movie and pretty much hating it. It's like found footage, but it's not. It's fictional. But it looks like found footage of, I think, teenagers being captured by some kind of witch coven. I can't quite remember the tale here, but it is maybe worth a shot for those of you interested in 1990s weirdo movies that are strange and unusual. And you can see what the hype was, because I'm telling you, this was a big movie when it came out on a shoestring budget. I haven't seen it since it came out. Maybe I would like it now, but I don't know. Horror aficionados, what do you think? See, they have a variety on this channel. It's really wild, but I have to say this. I say this every time. I continually run into the problem of not being able to find movies at all. I'm in 1990, as I said, exploring that year, and there are a number of movies that are not on streaming at all and are hard to find on disc. In fact, a couple of them impossible to find. I can only get them through Interlibrary loan, and they're on very cheap VHS copy DVDs. I mean, the DVDs, I think, come from the like the widescreen VHS. They look terrible. So the reason I support Criterion is that they're like, the streaming option is there, and when they leave the channel, they might be gone for good. It's amazing how many movies from 1990 are not, like late 80s, 1990, not available. And movies that were recommended in the day. So, watch them when you can, and that's why seeing what's going off the channel is useful. But you all have heard me say that 100 times. Oh, Don Siegel, not Robert Siegel. What am I doing? I did not like this adaptation, although Lee Marvin is really fun to watch, in my opinion. So you guys should see which killers you like and let us know. Because there's 3. We just passed 3 of them. Meshes of the Afternoon you can find anywhere on YouTube. but who knows what the score is. That's a very famous movie. You should watch that. And now we're in the territory of things I don't know. So some of these look interesting, but I'm not familiar with. I know the directors, but not the names. Or not the movies. Oh, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. There you go. So those are the recommendations. You know, I would do, if I were you and you like tough guy crime movies, Sexy Beast. Let's go for that one. Some of you may not have heard of that. I like it a lot. I liked it when I saw it. I need to do a video on it. I think it's really good. Yeah, I'll get to the comments in a little bit. Which are always excellent. And if you haven't, check out these people on Letterboxd. Some of these people I'm friends with on Letterboxd, they're good. What am I doing? Criterion Box. I probably ordered 1980s movies. Ones I know or ones I want to keep. Now, I'm not doing this to support, I don't know, buying stuff for the sake of buying stuff. I think preserving physical media is a need, and if you have the money to do it and the interest and you're a collector, it's good to have Criterion discs. I guess because they go up in value if they're out of print, but really just to have the disc. You never know when these things are going to disappear. So I have not seen this movie, Menace to Society, in a very long time. 1993, I probably saw it in college when it was on the college channel. I don't remember it at all. In fact, I'm getting this confused with Boys in the Hood, and I shouldn't, but I'm going to rewatch it because I'm in the 90s now. Early 90s movie. You let us know what you think of these. Hollywood Shuffle. So you may not have heard of this one. Robert Townsend, an actor, writes, I think directs. This is a movie that's a spoof on, it's like In Living Color, the show. You remember In Living Color from the early 1990s? It's a spoof on the way Hollywood portrays black people in movies, with some very funny bits. I wouldn't say the whole story works, but it's got these sketches and skits in it that I left a lot in this movie. I had to buy it. I thought it was really fun in a lot of ways. It's shocking it's on Criterion, but as a taste thing, it's really clever and witty and sarcastic and satirical at times, to my humor wavelength. So I would get. It's about this guy he's a black guy, a black man who tries to get he tries to become a Hollywood actor, and he's failing, or he gets a role, but he's got to play a very stereotypical role. It's pretty good. If you want to laugh, Hollywood Shuffle. Thoughtful movie. Oh yeah, I had to rectify my Douglas Sirk problems, which I don't know him very well, so I'm going to watch that one. Trainspotting. Another classic 90s movie. If you were a teenager, college student, you had heard of Trainspotting. Early Ewan McGregor sighting here. Who knew he would become Obi-Wan Kenobi? Nobody when they watch this movie, but he does. So I appreciated this one back in the day, but I have not seen it for 25 to 30 years. It's a theme here. Aki Kaurismäki. Yes. Love this guy's movies, and more recommending him to everybody. More because they hold up. I mean, his 80s, 90s movies hold up. And so this one, well, this is 1992. So I'm getting to the year 92. Sorry for the reflection on the plastic on these things. Lone Star. Sorry. John Sayles. I like this cover a lot. I did not love the movie, but I'm a respecter of John Sayles, who you may know did 8 Men Out, Matewan, The Secret of Rowan and Nish. He's got a number of excellent movies, and it sort of worked. I might be wrong about saying this. Worked semi outside the Hollywood system, and that is hard to do, and he's done it well for a long time. And last but not least, people ask me about this guy since I started the channel. I admit when I started the channel, I had not seen any of his movies. Now I've seen most of them. Michael Haneke. I'm getting the angle wrong there. Michael Haneke. This says a trilogy. And it's got, I hate doing it this, but maybe, yeah, it's up there. I watched The Seventh Continent for the first time just a couple months ago. His very first movie. I'm kind of blown away by it. I thought it was outstanding in so many ways, and I've put it way up in my list of 1980s movies to watch. I think it's a great movie. It's a dark, disturbing movie. You should not read about it, though. It's based on a real-life incident, and I can imagine there have been several I shouldn't say anything. Several incidents like this, and you should watch the movie and not know what's going to happen. That may skew the way you watch it, though. So I knew what was going to go on when I got into it, and that's a different way of watching it. All these people talking about Seventh Continent here. And I don't think I've seen Benny's video. That's the second one in this. And these Criterion trilogies, now, Criterion is expensive. So you only buy Criterions when they're half off. Either they have a flash sale 50% off on their site, or Barnes & Noble sells them for 50% off. I'm not recommending Amazon, but when Barnes & Noble does 50% off, Amazon will do 50% off. And maybe other sites that I don't know about. I hate Amazon. I could go on a rant about them. They are terrible for buying movies. I'm almost done with them, unless that's the last thing I could find, because you type a movie into their search bar, and they send you to the Prime Video, and they block or hide or whatever they do the results for the discs. I hate that. It's a travesty. Jeff Bezos has abandoned me. He was a good bookseller in the 90s and early 2000s, and now he is burying books and promoting Kindle and burying discs and promoting Prime Video and not encouraging us to be good curators. Rant over. Amazon, though, you get the Criterion sales for 50% off. They're $20 for a disc. That is something. It's not nothing. A price of a lunch in New York City. Maybe a pizza. Okay, I have no idea. $20 is a lot. I think it's a lot. But $20 I think it's reasonable for the discs. You get a trilogy like this though, and it's going to be 35. So then you get 3 movies for 35. Hopefully you like them all. But that I would recommend, if they've got it, I can't remember, the Coker trilogy, the Decalogue from Kieslowski. Those will end up being cheaper. So I can't remember their other collections, but I got the Fellini one back here. You see it in my videos. I know it's behind the window there. That's probably like $100 on 50% off sale, but you get 15 movies. So the Bergman trilogy, good collection. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think about all this? I'm saying all this, by the way, because movie theaters, it's not good. I got to tell you, I looked at them year ahead. Not good as far as I know. Now, maybe A24 and these other good studios will be releasing things, and maybe December, somewhere along the line will release good movies. The ones I'm seeing are either 80s remakes or sequels. Now, it's like Dune Part 2, but Dune Part 2 is the second part of a big story, right? There are let's just pull them up. Now, I just ranted. I might as well rant again. I looked at this the other day to sort of plan my year, plan the next 3 months. What am I going to go see? And then I get Kung Fu Panda 4 franchise. Ghostbusters franchise. And these are the ones that are going to come to my theater, my small town podunk theater, which is mostly for adolescents. I do not live near a big city. It's a big problem for me. New Godzilla movie. Okay, I'm okay with monster movies, but franchise, right? I mean, we can keep going here. There's a Civil War movie, but I get into the summer. The Fall Guy 80s remake. Garfield movie, new Mad Max movie, Bad Boys 4, Pixar Inside Out 2, Quiet Place Day 1, Despicable Me 4, Twisters is a remake of Twister from the 1990s, Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought Wolverine was dead. Another Alien movie, Horizon. I have no idea what this is. I know there's a Rebel Moon 2 I just missed, a second Beetlejuice movie, Transformers 1, Saw 11, Joker Part 2, Smile 2, okay, I'm done. Right? All the 2s and 3s. I mean, this is a dictum. If there's a movie year where there are a lot of 2s and 3s after movies, it's a bad year. And I can point you to 1988. I think it's 88 or 89. It's very similar. I mean, I should pull it up one day or do a video on it, how bad that was. How many terrible sequels were there. So, Venom 3? I mean, the first one was terrible. Like, what do we do? Karate Kid remake, Moana 2, Gladiator 2, Lord of the Rings Part 15? I don't know how many Lord of the Rings there have been. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, I'm not going to complain about Robert Eggers remaking Nosferatu. Well, it is a remake. So, how many did we count? 20? I'm not really sure what to do with this, quite honestly. It's, what else can we say but people running studios are in it for the business and don't like the art of movies? I mean, they're remaking The Crow? Is that what that is? Yeah. Well, maybe it's based on the graphic novel. I don't know. But they're remaking The Crow. So, now we're into 90s remakes, people. Twister, The Crow. Planet of the Apes remake. Okay, rant over. Stop it, Josh. You gotta stop. So anyway, I go through all these movies, just in case you're out of ideas or you're sick of sequels or sick of remakes. We will see, one of those movies will be okay. I'm sure. Maybe. Hopefully. Now, by the way, one more question. Maybe some of you know this. What film festivals are worth going to? The reason I asked this is because I found out, and I didn't realize this, San Francisco, a city that I think is awesome and horrible at the same time. We won't go into that. Has a silent film festival that looks amazing. And I wasn't sure whether to spend the $300. It's in like a month or something. I don't think I'll go this year, but one of these years. It's like $300 to register. Then I'm gonna pay to go. It's a lot of money to travel there and take the time and so on. I wonder which ones are worth going to. Now, Turner Classic Movies has a gigantic one in Los Angeles. I've not been to that either. I'm interested in going to something that's worthwhile. So, if you guys have a recommendation, let me know. You know, the channel makes a tiny, tiny drop of money. Thanks for donating and for helping me out that way, by the way. A tiny, tiny drop, enough to go to one festival. So, as a business expense, how about that? Anyway, I should have closed this window. I mean, dang. All right. Let's get to the chat. I like the chat. I don't even do super chats. I don't care. That's how much I enjoy this, your company. So, I'm looking at the chat. Let's bring it over here so I look like I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, Dune Part 1, overly sterile, Hippolito says. By the way, Hippolito, great. In the Discord, I have a Discord. You know, you can come there and chat. You can come there and read. You can just sign up. I don't care. It's like just to meet each other and have discussion. I think, I said this in my Dune review, Dune Part 2 review, all Villeneuve movies are sterile. I think I said cold, bleak, stark, linear, geometrical. You know, that's where I'm at with him. I don't know why he can't have a little touch of humor. When he tries humor, it's kind of stupid or fails. So, doesn't have a funny bone, really. Maybe he's got a very dry sense of humor, and I have not noticed how dry it is. But yeah, it's sterile. The second one will make you feel that way, although there is a character arc there that maybe it was for me and for some people winning. It's got a heroic character arc with obviously Paul Atreides. So I think the second one opens that up a little bit, and there's some emotional stakes. Now, granted, the emotional stakes in Dune Part 2, it's a love triangle hokey thing. I mean, he's got to go with the natives, or it's Avatar. You know, he's got to go with the natives, or he's got to go with the colonial overlords. I'm kind of done with science fiction fare that does it in a simplistic way, but I don't know how else movie makers are going to deal with it. Oh, by the way, I say all this. I'm now watching a TV show on Max called Scavenger's Reign. Scavenger's Reign, R-A-I-N. Have any of you seen this? I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's checking all my boxes for science fiction. Unique alien biology world. Freighter, people working on a freighter in space get stranded on this alien planet, have to deal with its weirdo biology. They could get killed. They have to learn to manipulate it to survive. And it doesn't seem like it's the typical colonial overlord, humans as colonial overlord thing over aliens. I'm not sure, though. So I've only 2 episodes in, but I don't need another Dune Avatar kind of thing with these themes in it. If you know what I mean? I mean, we had enough of that. Do something unique and different, because there's a lot of other things you could do, I think. Yeah, Kit Katsy is totally right. The first Dune, Part 1 syndrome, it's the first part or the prologue of Part 2. They're really, it's really one big long movie. Yep. Yeah, some of you have tested watching them both together. Good. Movie focuses on more recent films. So we're back to what you should, check out. Criterion is going to be the curator. Hopefully it's still human curated. I think it is. Of old movies or all kinds of movies across all time periods, collections, I think, that are curated, that are focused collections based on a director or a theme or a time period. Movie, yeah, that's my experience, has a lot of newer stuff that you would have to experiment with. And so the 3-month subscription for $1, I'm assuming you can still get that. Sounds like a darn good idea. There you go. Have I seen Christopher Nolan's first short, Doodlebug? No. I mean, usually I'm not watching short movies by directors before they, there's film school stuff, but it is worth it if you're a completist. I don't. You recommend Chris Nolan's Doodlebug? Okay. Okay. Pippolito says this. Ding, ding, ding. There appears to be no way to see Grave of the Fireflies unless I buy a Region 2 used DVD on eBay. No. Hold on. Okay, so then how did I get this? I got it because I'm going to show it to a class. Where did I get this? It's not in focus. It's a Blu-ray. It's Region 1, isn't it? By the way, this is why I recommend never, ever, ever buy a Blu-ray player that isn't region free. That was 2 negatives. Only buy Blu-ray players that are region free. I don't care how much it costs. I mean, those of us who like movies, you're going to run into the problem of the movie is only available in another region. I have that problem myself all the time. And so, I don't know, this one, I don't know, you want to buy it from me? Should I auction this off? I'm going to show it in the second half of the semester. I've never used it in class. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, you're right. You have this problem of the only way to buy a movie is some kind of used thing, and it's impossible to find. I wonder if my Grave of the Fireflies is worth something. I have no idea. I think I just recently bought it, though. Well, that's a controversial take. Sexy Beast is greater than In Bruges. I like it the other way around, but there's no need for me to prefer one over the other, really. I think I like them both. So, good heist films to watch? Yeah. I watched this one, The Grifters by Stephen Frears, 1990. It wasn't very good, I thought, but it's kind of a Sting-like movie if you want to check that out. Less heist in it than I would like. Logan Lucky by Steven Soderbergh. That came out several years ago. We're probably forgetting about it now, and I need to do a video on it. I really like that movie, Logan Lucky. Logan Lucky. Go check that out by Soderbergh. That is a heist movie to watch. Yeah. So, another Ghostbusters movie. I thought the last one hadn't done particularly well. I didn't watch the last one. I'm out of the loop on these Ghostbuster ones. Yeah. I like this comment. Now, Julian Davis, Film Institute in LA, the American Cinematic. I won't pronounce it. How terrible I am. We still play films on nitrate and have all the movies you'd like from the 50s to the 90s. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I was just at a film festival. The reason why I'm saying this, I go to the Kansas Silent Film Festival, okay? It's a little thing. I think it's delightful. And so they started playing this movie, and they meant to play the film reel. They got a projector set up. They'll either play a DVD or they'll play the film reel if they've got it, okay? So they started playing the movie, but they played the DVD first. And that was an accident. So they shut that off and they started playing the film on the film reel. Do you know which is better, DVD or film reel? That was an interesting comparison because I watched like 5 minutes of the movie on DVD, 5 minutes on the film reel, and it was so obvious that the film reel was the better version by far. Even with the little scratches and nicks in it, it's just it's the same thing they say about vinyl. It's warmer, whatever warm means. I don't know I can describe it better than that. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit richer detail. I mean, film reels, that's the way to go, but there's no way I can afford those. So I'm not buying those. Yeah. I think, Hippolito, you're right. People are getting what studios will get the message. If people want good, artsy, thoughtful, humanistic, learned, complex, adult kinds of issues stuff like they had all over the 1990s and the 1970s, etc., etc., then they'll make it. And then they'll put it out there for everybody. But that is not what's happening. So I don't know why. I think we're probably at the point where we just have to put this out on the internet, and the internet needs to have a better... I can go into another rant here. I think movie theaters are kind of dead because most people don't want the inconvenience of going to the theater. Just laziness, use of phones, no time, I don't know. But I think movie theater, I think we just have to transfer over. It's so terrible to say for some of you, to watching things on the internet and instant streaming, instant release of movies. I'm kind of on that side of things now, if you get what I mean. But yeah, we're not going to get... If people want junk, they're going to get junk. I agree. I think. I'm reading some of these. Wait, I went to Telluride Student Symposium last year, Evan says, and had a total blast. Once you get your reputation spread even more in critic circles, you've got to go. Oh, do I have to have an invitation? Like, what is that? Telluride Student Symposium. I don't know how to get in there. Maybe I got to figure that out. Maybe I'll just... I like that. I'm going to write that down. Check it out. Telluride. Is that hoity-toity up there? I'm always a little worried about Colorado mountain stuff and being out of place. The redneck in a world of elites. But, okay. I wrote it down. Yeah, and then... Okay, yeah. All right, so you got Logan Lucky as a recommend. So we're deep into this live stream, but yeah. Oh, the Drive Away Dolls. Yeah, it was a heist movie. I've not seen that one. TV shows. TV shows are more thought-provoking stories. I feel like TV quality, as far as I understand, has dropped in the last 10 years. Am I wrong about that? It's like all the greatest of TV shows are still from that 2000 to 2012-ish sort of time period. Isn't that right still? Maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to know. I'm not in the know on TV, and so give me a great show. I'm trying The Leftovers. Do you know The Leftovers? I'm wildly disappointed by it. I don't find it to be that great. It's got like... I know what Damon Lindelof is up to. It's like Stephen King plus David Lynch with a heart of gold. The symbols are overt. The story's going nowhere at this moment. So anyway, I'm only like 6 episodes into The Leftovers. It's on all these greatest of lists, but whatever. Anyway, well, it's my spring break. I got a lot to do, including doing nothing. So it's great to talk to you all, and thank you so much for showing up here. Always appreciate your coming along. Check out, obviously, Letterboxd. I don't need to do this now at the end of the video. You've already heard this, or you've left. All right. Thank you so much. Like you all. Enjoy the videos. Take care. See you later.